This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. And tonight from the Queen City of Cincinnati, it's game number 2 of the weekend series. The St. Louis Cardinals and the Cincinnati Reds. Welcome to the ballpark, the Great American Ballpark. In the broadcast booth, I'm Dan McLaughlin. We're going to hear from Jim Hayes and Jim Edmonds momentarily. The Cardinals lose last night 9-5, but they're trying to get a little bit healthier, and that means the starter tonight for St. Louis signed a 4-year deal to come pitch for the Cardinals. Jimmy, that is Steven Matz. Good to have him back in the rotation.
Yeah, he hasn't pitched since May 22nd, but he has been around for 8 years. He knows how to get himself healthy. He's had some good starts, good little career going against the Reds, and he's worked himself back into the rotation with some rehab starts, Danny. He had a 88 pitch rehab start down in the minor leagues, so he should be ready to go and he should be stretched out.
Goldie is in the lineup. He might be the MVP of the National League. American Family Insurance. Dream fearlessly. He loves this ballpark. The high average, the very high OPS. It was another home run hit by Goldie last night. He is 1 run batted in shy of 1,000 for his career. Trying to cool off the bats of the Reds, that's up to Steven Matz. 9 runs last night, 3 homers hit by Cincinnati. And it's game number 2, the Reds and Cardinals coming up on Bally Sports. On Bally Sports Midwest, brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. By Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area. Find yours at your Mid-America Chevy dealer. And by CarShield. CarShield cars go farther. We're at the Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati. Game number 2 of the weekend series. Reds take game 1 last night. By virtue of that win, the Cardinals are now a game and a half back at Milwaukee in the Central. In second place, Cincinnati 15 games out. They're 35-57. And the Cardinals come in 5 games above the 500 mark. Jim Hayes, Jim Edmonds, Dan McLaughlin with you on another warm evening here in the Queen City. At the top of the St. Louis lineup, it is Dylan Carlson, the switch hitter, moving into the top spot. He's had some very good at-bats here recently, and especially from this side of the plate. So Ollie in his office today talking about trying to get him and Tyler O'Neill some good at-bats in terms of their production, get O'Neill back on track. Then it's Paul Goldschmidt, Nolan Arenado, Albert Pujols serving as the designated hitter, Tommy Edman, Brendan Donovan, Edmundo Sosa, and Andrew Kisner. It's his 49th start, most by any Cardinal catcher not named Molina since 2004. And Jimmy on the mound, the 9th start of the season for Mike Minor of the Reds.
Yeah, Mike Minor's not having a great year, but overall in his career, he's 80-84, so not a bad pitcher, 500 guy. I don't know about those numbers right there. As you see the Hyundai pitch arsenal, you're going to see a lot of fastballs, I believe. It's about 44 to 49% fastball, so they better be ready to hit. Left-handers have historically given the Cardinals trouble. They've been a little bit better with the addition of Albert Pujols, so I'll just say be ready to hit, and let's get ready to go.
Cardinals losing last night, and Ollie was ejected in the game. Dropped their season mark to 0-7 in the opening games of road trips, but yet 6-0 in the second game of road trips this year. And here is Dylan Carlson, and the first pitch is striking. We are underway. Dylan was 2 for 4 last night, and it was another extra base hit for Carlson. He's now at an extra base hit in 4 consecutive games. And the next is taken low, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Funny that you say that they have so much trouble at the beginning of a road trip or a series, because that is the exact opposite of what you want to be, especially on the road. I mean, you really want to just establish yourself as the big bad St. Louis Cardinals. So kind of surprising, but also reason being for the struggles.
And a count now of 1-2 on Dylan Carlson. Another start in center field tonight. And Dylan shoots it foul down the right field line. Not great news, according to Ali before the game, on Harrison Bader dealing with the plantar fasciitis. And he texted Ali and said things, just don't feel quite right. The Cardinals were even thinking about maybe even having him activated for the game tonight and certainly tomorrow to travel to Toronto, but that will not be the case.
Yeah, he didn't sound too optimistic right before the All-Star break. He kind of said it hinted that wasn't feeling the way he was hoping to have it feel after the therapy that he's had and some of the treatment. So see how much longer it takes him to get ready. That is a bad spot. I mean, that's your feet and your hands are not a good injury for baseball.
That pitch taken inside, and it's a count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mike Minor, 34-year-old from Chapel Hill, Tennessee. And the next is a fly ball lifted in the air to right field. Fairchild with the catch and the first out here in game 2. Around the Horn is presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Tommy Pham, the former Cardinal, in left. Senzel in center. Fairchild in right. Drury, he's had a good year. He's at third. Farmer at short. India, the reigning rookie of the year in the senior circuit, he's at second. Joey Votto at first. And Mark Colesbury is behind the plate. And here is Tyler O'Neill. And he looks at a pitch outside for ball 1. O'Neill with a base hit last night early on that gave the Cardinals an early 2-0 lead. It was a bases loaded 2-out hit. And Ali was talking about this guy at the plate, Jimmy, being a huge key to whether they're going to have success or not have success here in the second half. They've got to get him going.
Well, you have to get another guy with power going in this lineup other than the obvious 2. And maybe if you hit him in front of Goldie, you'll see him get more fastballs. But I don't really think that matters where you hit in the lineup. If you have trouble hitting certain pitches, that's how they're going to attack you. They just might throw you more strikes, but they're still going to stay away and go soft.
The Cardinals mentioned that this is the spot. Many times you want to get going a player because you're hitting in front of Goldie, Arenado, and Pujols. You're going to get pitches to hit. And
O'Neill, dream spot right here.
Lifts it out to center, and backing up and drifting to make that catch on the track, it's Senzel, as the ball was carrying last night, and that may be an indication of what it's going to do here tonight.
The ball went a long way right there. Didn't look like he made good contact, and that's probably another reason why Senzel took so long to get behind it. When you don't see a good swing, sometimes it's hard to pick up how far it's actually going to travel, and we know that he's out there in the sun. Even though it's partly cloudy, it seems like it's still pretty bright.
So 2 outs, and here is Goldschmidt. If you include the All-Star game, he's homered in 3 straight. And again, he is 1 run batted in shy of 1,000 for his career. And that pitch taken for a ball, and it's 2-0. So Votto now with a 2-0 count, way off the line. Third baseman on the line, and it's 3-0. Goldie last night 2 for 4 with a home run. So again, $9.99. The RBI department now with 301 career homers. You think about some of the great deals the Cardinals have made, and John Mozeliak certainly would put this one near the top. Get this player in the prime of his career. And Goldie rips it foul. Watch out. And the ball boy, thank goodness, is all right, but there is a reason why you do have that glove.
And the helmet. Look out.
There was 108 off the bat. Oh, he did get it off the leg, I believe. 3-2 pitch.
Off the hip.
And it's a 2-out walk.
He is trying not to rub it. Look out down there.
And the batter will be Nolan Arenado. 2 for 5, double and a single last night. In his last 8 games, he's 9 for 28. Couple of doubles and a home run. He's driven in 4. He scored 2. Short lead at first by Goldie. And the first pitch taken for a strike. And this is another deal that was pulled off by Mo and the front office that is paid already big dividends. It'll be interesting to see what they do in the next couple of weeks. And the 0-1 pitch took some off it. So Minor is kind of like Matz, has had a rough season in terms of the injury bug. It's only his 9th start. Missed considerable time this year. He had a shoulder impingement and then a shoulder strain, and a couple of different times on the injured list. And the 0-2 taken high. And the 1-2 pitch to Nolan Arenado is a fly ball into right field. Fairchild under it. He'll make the catch. Cardinals strand a runner here in the top of the first. It's the return of Steven Matz when we come back. And the lefty will toe the rubber for St. Louis here in game 2 from Cincinnati. For St. Louis, so only 9 starts, but yet he went on the rehab assignments. Cardinals were very careful with him and bringing him back, making sure that he's ready and available to go. And Jimmy, that's a look at his Hyundai pitch arsenal.
You're going to see a lot of fastballs, I think, and a lot of fastballs on both sides of the plate. The sinker, sometimes the four-seamer a little bit. The changeup is good. The curveball is good. Establish the fastball. Be nice to see if he can throw strikes. Get a good look right away and see what he's got, because I tell you what, short amount of rehab starts, it'll show up quick. And it's nice that he's gotten up to 88 pitches in the minor leagues, but there's a whole different ball game up here. You can see the first pitch already at 95, Danny, so should be pretty strong.
Ollie was saying before the game that there was actually an uptick in velo from Steven Matz in the last couple of rehab starts, so they're anticipating him to be the guy that they brought in with a nice contract to pitch for the Cardinals. And it's 1-2 on India, who's really had good numbers against St. Louis. 22 games against the Cardinals to begin his career and a .338 average. 5 home runs. And that's fouled back and out of play. Reds lineup tonight: India, then Drury, Tommy Pham, Joey Votto, Kyle Farmer, Donovan Solano, Senzel, Fairchild, and Colesbury. Matt's working with Andrew Kisner, and the 1-2 taken high. 2-2.
Andrew. Steven Matz is this year, his ERA is up at 6. He's got 37 innings only, 44 hits. I was looking to see if the walks were the issue, but really not. Just giving up a lot of hits, and the earned runs are up there. So more than a hit an inning will do some damage.
And the home runs at times have been problematic as well.
Yeah, 8 home runs. You're right.
And a fly ball into shallow right center, and the catch made by the versatile Brendan Donovan. Jim Edmonds Toyota, key to the game.
Well, I said it already, but really the fastball strikes, and establish that fastball and throw strikes. If you can establish that fastball, especially him left-handed with that angle he's got going into the righties, he's going to open up the whole outside part of the plate. He's going to buy him some off-speed pitches, keep the hitters guessing.
Basically, right after the lockout ended, Brandon Drury was signed to a minor league deal with an invite to Major League spring training camp. He's turned that into being the team leader in runs, hits, total bases, doubles, homers, runs batted in, slugging, and OPS.
If you look at him the way he swings, Danny, and other than this maybe fastball inside, you would think this place was tailor-made for him. He kind of dives out a little bit. He looks like he tries to drive the ball the other way into right center. This would be a great ballpark. If that's his idea of hitting, this is the ballpark for him, and it's showing up right now in his numbers. He does a good job of diving, but staying behind the ball.
Popped up into shallow right, backing up a step or two after coming in. It's Donovan again, and that's out number 2.
Kind of reminds me a little bit of Mark DeRosa, if you think about that stiff-legged kind of crossfire across the plate, just trying to hit the ball up the middle. Like I said, this would be a great place for him to hit if he stays healthy and hot.
There's Tommy Pham hitting .239, 11 homers, and he's driven in 36. Good numbers against Mats. Head-to-head, 4 for 7 with a home run. And the first pitch taken low. Tommy played parts of 5 seasons at the major league level with the St. Louis Cardinals. And he lines it into center to base hit. Originally a 16th round pick by St. Louis in 06, and Tommy Pham is aboard. Around the Horn is presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. O'Neill, Carlson, and Donovan in the outfield. Arenado, Sosa, Edman, Goldschmidt on the infield. Andrew Kisner is behind the plate. And the batter is Joey Votto. Votto with a home run last night, his 7th of the year. A shift right side defensively by St. Louis. Check on Pham, who has 7 steals, and that's the most on the Reds ball club. His career on base percentage for Joey Votto is .432. Comes in with a 6-game hitting streak. And that is fouled back. Votto against the lefties this year, hitting just .219, and he is the only lefty in the lineup for David Bell tonight with Steven Matz on the mound. So Moustakas, Naquin, Papirski, and Reynolds on the bench for the Reds. The 0-1 pitch. Nothing in 2. He's got pretty good life on the fastball, doesn't he?
Yep. Yeah, he does. 96. First pitch 95. We normally see him 92 to 93, and he'll try to finish guys at 95, but right out of the chute so far, up in the mid-90s.
And the 0-2 pitch. Steven Matz to Joey Votto. Swing and a miss, and he struck him out. 96 elevated, and his first strikeout of the night. Welcome back, Steven Matz. That's a good sight to see. Cardinal lefty back in the rotation. 1 inning in the books, and there's no score. Albert Pujols digs in, the Kia player profile. And the active home run leaders, he's at 685. Then you have Cabrera, Cruz, Stanton, and Votto. So 2 of the top 5 playing in this game tonight. And the first pitch to Albert Pujols is taken high for a ball. He is 5 hits shy of tying Rogers Hornsby for 4th all-time in Cardinal hits. Inside 2-0. He is 1 run away from breaking a tie with Lou Gehrig, 11th all-time right now in runs scored. Scored a couple of runs on Saturday. 3-0. And you know he's got the green light if he wants it.
That's a good thing about this ballpark. Probably going to get a fastball away. You could just stay out there and try to lift one into the seats.
On that 3-0 pitch, it's a base hit for Albert Pujols. I had a long conversation, Jimmy, with Ali today about Albert, and he said, number one, playing him against lefties or righties, we're very comfortable in doing that, but he's staying through the ball, using the middle of the field. He's not cheating now against righties, and he said he's still a presence. There is no doubt that he is a factor when he's in a game or even at the on-deck circle.
Yeah, we talked a lot about this beginning of the year. I think when you get older and you start hearing that you can't hit against righties and you don't hit against righties, you start to kind of taper off a little bit. You just got to get back out there and get on the horse again. And he was swinging a little free early on in the year. He's trying to cheat. I think now maybe he realizes he didn't really have to cheat anymore, and I think it's changed the way he's swinging the bat.
There's Tommy Edman, 1 for 4 with 3 strikeouts last night, and that's kept in front by Colesbury. We saw that last night. Stevenson, their catcher, has a broken clavicle. Best case scenario would be that they get him back at the end of September, but it looks like his season could be done. So Colesbury gets the start tonight. And the 1-1. Edman lifts a fly ball into center field. Senzel going back. Albert, he's going to tag up. From first to second, Albert Pujols. How about that? Hustled to get back to the bag at first. He tags up and puts himself in scoring position.
I mean, of course he is. He's going to, because you don't think he will. And also, I think he paid attention to that first fly ball that kind of drifted and got Senzel a little bit in trouble. And maybe in trouble or maybe a little bit lazy going back on the ball. But this guy, he's almost back to being invisible again.
He is 35 total bases away from passing Stan the Man for second all time, which is another aspect that you need to look at with Albert Pujols. Starting play tonight, 37 total bases away from Stan the Man, which would be second all time. He had 31 in the second half of last year. And off to a good start here in the second half, and now it's Brendan Donovan. The 0-1 pitch, and that's in the dirt. Brendan was 1 for 4 last night. And the 1-1 pitch. 2 strikes on Donovan. Brendan has done some of his best work inside the division, hitting .360 against the Central, .324 against lefties. And the 1-2 spoils that pitch. That's why you don't feel, even with a lefty on the mound tonight and the fact that he's a rookie, that he's overmatched. They love him against lefties or righties.
He's going to give you good at bats regardless of how it goes in the end. And that's important too. You know, you never know. Bounce a pitch here just because he's working on it, you get a stolen base, move runners around, anything you can do. End result is not just about you, it's about the team. And if he moves guys over and drives guys in, you can be hitless for the night.
Taken just a bit low. The Cardinals, their average as a team against lefties is .264, and that's second best in the National League behind Colorado. There's a look at the splits for the rookie Brendan Donovan. And the 2-2 pitch to Donovan. You start thinking about it, Jimmy. You're game number 96, so you're closing into, you know, the final 2 months of a regular season here, and this might be your rookie of the year. And more attention probably needs to be paid to the kind of season that Brendan has had, putting up those numbers, but also doing it at so many different positions.
Well, that's the thing that's allowing him to get out there and hit so many games, that he can keep playing everywhere. And when you have at bats like this, why not?
It's another 3-2 count on Donovan. One out. Albert Pujols, the runner at second base. And the 3-2 pitch to Donovan. And he draws a walk. Another very good at bat. The second walk issued by Minor. So Donovan, you got Yepez, you have Nolan Gorman. Juan Yepez, we're told, is going to start throwing next couple of days, and you could see him coming back fairly soon. Donovan, first in average and on base percentage among the rookies, 5th in runs batted in, and missed time because he initially wasn't with us. And then Nolan Gorman, you get the tremendous power. And here's Edmundo Sosa. Had a leg injury trying to catch a foul ball 8th inning last Saturday, and thank goodness he was all right. That was a scary play in the sidewall at Busch Stadium. And now stepping out, it'll be Sosa. Cardinals will wrap up this portion of the road trip tomorrow in Cincinnati, off day Monday, and then in Toronto for a pair, off day Thursday, and then we'll head to our nation's capital and see the Washington Nationals. And right now Minor can't get on the same page with Colesbury. They're using PitchCom. First and second with one out. The 1-0 pitch. A good rip by Sosa, fouled it back, and it's 1-1. Well, Minor has had his issues against St. Louis. 7 starts, 2-4, ERA near 6. Originally a high draft choice of the Atlanta Braves, 2009 out of Vanderbilt. Pitched with the Braves. He's had 2 stints with the Royals, Texas, Oakland, and then brought here to Cincinnati. He was part of the March trade with the Royals that sent Amir Garrett, hard throwing lefty, out of the pen for Cincinnati. He went to Kansas City, and Minor came the other way. Early opportunity for the Cardinals to strike first here in game 2. The 2-1 pitch to Sosa. Yanked foul near the Cardinal dugout. 2-2. Edmundo going back to 2019, his first hit against the Reds. First home run in 2021 against Cincinnati. And the 2-2 pitch to Sosa. A swing and a miss and a strikeout. Minor has his first, and it brings in Kisner. Right before the All-Star break, we saw Kisner swinging the bat pretty well at home. He was 7 for his last 15, and then the break hit. Did not play last night. That was Romine, and a chance here for Andrew.
You're right. He was swinging the bat a little bit better. Felt like his balance was better, a little bit more confidence. The other thing too was he got to get a little bit of rest. You know, Romine was playing a little bit, wasn't playing as much, and that can help you too, just as much as anything. Kind of watch from a distance, kind of get some strength back. A good swing right there.
And a Cardinal fan has a souvenir down the left field line. Mentioned it last night. Cardinal fans everywhere they travel, and especially when you come to Milwaukee or Cincinnati, certainly Chicago, but these teams in the Central, you'll see a lot of Cardinal fans. Runners at first and second, 2 outs, and an 0-1 pitch. Popped up. Joey Votto under it and makes the catch. Cardinals strand a pair. They've left 3 on in the first couple of innings. Midway through 2, and there's no score. No scores. We move to the bottom of the second. It's the return of Steven Matz to the rotation for the Cardinals. More on that. Let's check in with Jim.
Yeah, Danny, Steven Matz making his first big league start since late May. He had been out with a left shoulder impingement. Ollie Marmol told me they're counting on Matz to return to form and be a big piece of the rotation. Ollie said if we're going to have the second half that we talked about in the clubhouse, we're going to need some guys to step up. Matz is one of them. It's important for him to go out and do what we know he can do. And Danny, Andrew Kisner told me he thinks the key for Matz tonight will be a good tempo early and getting Matz into a rhythm as quickly as possible. I think we're seeing that.
All right, Jimmy, thank you. And first pitch at the bottom of the second is taken for a ball by Kyle Farmer. Matz made his major league debut against Cincinnati in June of 2015. He went 7 2/3 in that game. Just 2 runs. Picked up his first ever major league win. The Mets 7-2, and that was at Citi Field. And he went 3 for 3, by the way, at the plate. Hit off the mound. Backhanded. Long throw. Tommy Edman makes that play with ease. So Steven Matz, all the way back in 2015, highly touted, and the Mets had heard so much about him, had him in their organization, and then the lefty makes his debut, and he was dealing that night. 7 2/3. And at the plate, getting it done as well with the 3 hits.
That swing.
A very good athlete. Here's Donovan Solano.
Does not want the DH.
And the 1-0 pitch to Solano is tapped foul. Drove in 3 last night. Cardinals first faced Solano in 2012, and he was a part of the St. Louis organization for many years. He's had 25 games in his career against St. Louis. And since the start of last year, 9 games, and he's reached base in all 9 against the Cardinals. Been around in Pro Bowl for a long time. The 1-1 pitch is popped up. Goldie over. Tommy Edman as well. Edman on the line in fair territory and makes the catch for out number 2. Discover matchup. Taking a look at Matz and Minor. A couple of the guys that are, number 1, trying to make sure that they are healthy, and number 2, then really reestablish themselves in the rotations of their respective clubs. Both have suffered left shoulder injuries this year. And you'd have to think that if Minor can show something here in the next couple of weeks, that there might be teams willing to take a flyer on him. Those that are in contention for a playoff spot. There's Nick Senzel hitting .257 with 3 homers, and he's driven in 18. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Jimmy, do players scour the internet this time of year? Are they nervous? What's it like?
You know, I don't think so. I think you kind of know what's going on. I mean, I think if you're on a team that's a kind of bottom feeder and anyone's available, then you might be worried about it. But then also, you're on a team that's like that, you might not care. But you know, some of these guys, they might be willing to go somewhere else if you're on the Reds or a couple of these teams down below. But I don't think so, because I don't think you want to see your name in the paper as trade bait, especially if you're on a good team.
And the 1-2 put in play, softly hit, tricky hop at the end for Goldie, and he'll make the play. 1-2-3 for Matz here in the second inning. Coming up for the Cardinals, the top of their lineup: Carlson, O'Neill, and Goldie. No score. August 12th, it's Top Gun Maverick Night. Purchase of a special theme ticket, you receive an exclusive Cardinals t-shirt featuring co-pilots Uncle Charlie and Yachty. And for tickets, visit cardinals.com/theme. Top Gun Maverick Night. First pitch to Dylan Carlson, a strike. He flied to right first time up. I've not seen the new Top Gun movie, Jimmy. Have you?
No, I have not. Not yet.
And that's hit down the left field line. Looks like extra bases again for Dylan Carlson. And that'll be a leadoff double. And Dylan Carlson, an extra base hit in 5 straight games, 4 doubles and a triple.
Looks like he just kind of pulls his hands in right here and keeps that ball fair. It's amazing. I feel like every time you see him struggle a little bit, even though he has success with the body, turn around, put him on the right side, and voila, it's like it's just falling off or riding your bike. You never really get that far out of whack. He does not get that far out of whack on the right side.
Just 21st double of the year, and that's 3rd most on the club behind Arenado and Goldie. And the first pitch to Tyler O'Neill is a ball. He flied to center first time up. Cardinals are 2 for 10 with runners in scoring position in the series, and that's a nice play. Colesbury. Well, Jimmy, Ollie was talking about getting the lower half down. Sometimes in the lower half of the swing of Tyler O'Neill, he's kind of caught. And if we can jumpstart him by putting him in this spot in the lineup, this is what we need to do.
Yeah, I feel like earlier in the year he kind of got caught trying to go the other way a little bit, and when you do that too much, you start manipulating your swing and getting your body out of the way, and just made him too long to the ball. He's got to really just go back out there and try to stay up the middle, take that. You know, he was hitting the hanging breaking balls to the left. He's hitting the fastballs up the middle. And all of a sudden he got little right field conscious, and it just looked like he was
base hit into right field. Here comes Carlson, and he will score. Tyler O'Neill brings in the first run of the night, and a base hit into right. That's his 31st RBI of the season, and it's 1-0 St. Louis.
See, I don't think he tries to go to right field here. He just hits the ball the other way because it's a breaking ball out of the plate. He sees it and hits it. Earlier when he was struggling, it looked like he was throwing his hands at the ball late on purpose, and that's just a really good swing.
And it brings in Paul Goldschmidt. Walked his first time up. O'Neill has 6 stolen bases on the year. He is running. He now has 7 stolen bases. This is the skill set, by the way, of Tyler O'Neill.
Yeah, I was just going to say, just another asset that he has to bring to this team. Just gets a good jump and gone.
Can Goldie get to 1,000 runs batted in this at bat? And that pitch taken for a strike, and it's 1-1. Here's a 1-1 pitch to Goldie. Base hit into left, and that'll be RBI number 1,000 in the marvelous career of Paul Goldschmidt. He's driven in 1,000 in his major league career. He brings in O'Neill, and with that, it's a 2-0 St. Louis lead. And Derek Johnson, the pitching coach, out to visit here with Mike Minor. 3 consecutive hits to begin this 3rd inning. That'll find its way to that man right there, Chris Conroy, and he'll put the inscription on it. And the sweet swing, Jimmy, of Goldie.
Yeah, that ball's out over the plate too, and Looked like he was just ready to go and got out a little out in front, and he's going so good. I mean, every ball he hits is on the button.
I had a great conversation with Goldie before the game, and he was with his family in the All-Star festivities, and he said his 6-year-old son was asked by the media or coaches or teammates, hey, are you going to be a baseball player? He said without hesitation, he said, heck no, I'm a hockey player. I'm not a baseball player, I'm a hockey player. He said he's got his son in all kinds of different sports. And the one thing that he tells his son and his daughter, who is 4, he said, we're just here to have some fun. Let's have a little fun, and then we'll figure it out later. And you wish that every kid, Jimmy, would take that approach. Have a little fun with playing sports. It's what it's all about.
I'll tell you what, that little boy is right like his daddy, but that little girl he's got is a handful. Boy, she is charged up and ready to go every time I see her, and she turns into be the athlete. She could do anything, but that little boy, he's going to follow in his daddy's footsteps. He just doesn't know it yet.
It seems to work that way. As Minor steps off the pitching rubber, it's been a double. Then the RBI single the other way by O'Neill. Goldie, the base hit to left field to bring in O'Neill. And now it's Nolan Arenado with the Cardinals leading 2-0. And a count of 1 ball and 1 strike. On deck, Albert Pujols. And a big swing and a miss. Well, they've got to keep an eye on Goldie as well. He's got 5 stolen bases. Colesbury this season 0 for 3 in trying to catch base stealers. And the 1-2 pitch, the short lead at first. 2-2. Currently, there's 9 players in the history of the game. 300 homers, 1,500 hits, 1,000 runs, 1,000 RBI, and 150 or more steals. And Goldie is awfully close to joining that exclusive group. He is 5 stolen bases away from 150. Arenado hits it out to deep center. Senzel is back. It's over his head. Goldie to third. And Arenado trotting in with his 23rd double to second base. And Senzel didn't get a very good read on that.
The ball's scorched, and it looks like he's not seeing the ball off the bat out there in center field. But I don't know if he's going to catch this ball anyways. It looks like it basically short hops the wall on a line. He is all over that pitch.
And the batter will be Albert Pujols. Now with 2,106 hits as a St. Louis Cardinal. Grounder hit sharply to third. Drury was in, and he'll make the play. Albert 1 for 2 tonight, and the first out here in the third. And now a quick word from Great Southern Bank.
Sometimes you just don't feel like running to the bank. Fortunately, you can check your balance from the comfort of your favorite spot with the Great Southern mobile app. Great convenience, Great Southern Bank.
Here's Tommy Edman with 1 out. Runners at second and third. The infield brought in. They'll intentionally walk him and pitch to Donovan in this spot and load him up. This might play right into the Cardinals' hands with this move. We'll see.
Might be the right move, but by your gut, this might be a tough move right here. But I think if you look at this, Danny, this is probably the right move. for the Reds. I don't know if it's going to work though.
So he wanted the lefty-lefty matchup. Room on the left side. They play him to pull. Infield is back, and the bases are loaded. And watching Minor, too, when they called for the intentional walk, he kind of glared back into the Cincinnati dugout. He was none too pleased, it looked like. I told you that Donovan really does hit the lefties well. He walked his first time up. And that's another part of this too, Jimmy. With the bases loaded, you're going to find a guy that rarely expands his zone. Comfortable hitting with 2 strikes. And there's nowhere to put him.
Well, this is all you have to do is pretty much hit a fly ball here, so he doesn't have to really do a lot. Just get a strike and swing at it. Problem is Miners hasn't been throwing a lot of strikes.
Already pitch number 61 coming up. The 2-1. Slowly hit. Minor has a play at the plate, and they get the out. Hit it off the end of the bat. Back to Minor. And it'll take a 2-out base hit by Sosa to extend the inning and the lead. Bases loaded and 2 away. Minor steps off and now back on the pitching rubber. Getting his sign from Colesbury. Sosa struck out swinging first time up. And the first pitch to him. Off the end of the bat and a foul ball.
It's gone to that off-speed pitch a little bit more, especially in fastball situations.
Sosa, you think about a hit by pitch even in these spots. He's been hit 23 times in his young career. And that's fouled back. Going to the count on the Cardinals shortstop Sosa, and Minor could really minimize the damage here in this inning when the Cardinals had second and third, Pujols up and nobody out. And the 0-2 pitch to Edmundo Sosa. And a swing and a miss, and he struck him out. Second strikeout, and both have been of Sosa. Tyler O'Neill, his third run batted in the series, going the other way. Goldie with RBI number 1 wherever you're at with the MLB app. Coverage of in-game highlights, pitch-by-pitch features, select live broadcast coverage, and more. You won't want to miss a beat, so download the MLB app today. Another warm night here in Cincinnati. First pitch is strike in the home half of the third to Stuart Fairchild. Fairchild has spent time with Seattle, San Francisco, now with the Reds. Former second-round pick, 38th overall in 2017. And the next is outside, and it's a count of 1-2. He's hitting .296 at AAA. Been up and down a couple of times this year. Inside, and it's 2-2. Man, that hit him. Trying to get out of the way of that. Matz loses him. He had him at 0-2 and lost him. So leadoff man is on. And StatCast powered by Google Cloud through 2 innings. The out pitches for Matz. So he's staying on that side of the plate. He has hit 96 here tonight. And that was the fastball to Joey Votto, and the strikeout, his only strikeout of the night thus far.
Everything else was that off speed, that changeup. That's what you can do. If you can throw that fastball middle in, throw it for strikes, use that changeup to get out. There you go, right there again.
Throw was offline a bit, so no chance on the turn for Tommy Edman as they get Fairchild at second and Colesbury is safe at first. It's the kind of play that it almost has to be the shortstop coming across the bag, Jimmy, with his momentum going towards the first base bag.
Yeah, it's a tough play for Tommy, but he's so close. And then the throw. Clearly on the wrong side of the bag, but that was just a slow developing play. I don't think they had a chance for 2 no matter who's covering, but you are definitely right about that. You'd like to see the shortstop come across with momentum, but in the shift changes everything.
Yes, it does. Now it's Jonathan India trying to make it 9 consecutive games with a hit. Fly to right field first time up. Fastball taken high. It's a good player, isn't he, Jimmy? He's a nice looking player.
He really is. I think he's kind of feeling the sophomore slump a little bit. Some guys are making adjustments. That's the thing, you know, you kind of pop on the scene, and by the time you get around the league a couple times, it's a little late. You get a bunch of at bats, and next thing you know, he's on his way to being Rookie of the Year. And people say, wait a second, I remember not, you know, I didn't make my pitch here, I didn't make my pitch there, and here you go, he's hitting 230. He's only played in 42 games, though. This is what, 43, I believe. So things can change in a hurry. He's still got a lot of game left, a lot of year left.
He had a right hamstring strain, and he missed 48 games because of that. And last year really burst onto the scene for the Reds. Played at the University of Florida. He's a Gator. And last spring opened up all kinds of eyes, forced his way onto the club, and then became the Rookie of the Year in the National League.
Yeah, I always look and compare, obviously, guys at bats to maybe your guys that are playing every day. And 161 at bats for him this year so far. And Paul Goldschmidt's got 345, so clearly missed a lot of time.
Count of 3-2. Cardinals have turned 95 double plays this year. India has grounded into just 3 so far this season. If you're wondering, Matz has induced a pair this season. He'd love to make it number 3 right here. And the 3-2 pitch. Missed
Yikes.
On the inside corner. The strike zone last night. Ryan Addington, the third base umpire, was not great on both sides, and Matt certainly wanted that. Didn't get it. The crew chief is Mark Carlson tonight. Take a look. And he's behind
really
the plate.
good pitch.
Yep.
I mean, I guess Mark Carlson is right, because that is on the edge of the strike zone with the little box there, and it is outside by not much.
And here is Drury. Fly to right. And the Reds have runners at first and second. With just one out in their half of the third and trailing 2-0.
It's like when they slow it down on those tennis replays and you can see the ball hit the ground, and it's just, there's no room between the ball mark and the line, but it's outside the line. That's basically what that pitch was like right there.
And that pitch inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Drury's grounded into 6 double plays. Matt's had 40 pitches on the night. He is set. The next off the plate, and it's 2-1. Drury with 18 home runs to lead the Reds. He's driven in 52.
Let's see the pitches right there by Matson. At 41, it's pretty good, even though you can see in the teens in all 3 innings, but nowhere near the pitch total of Minor. He was up there in the 60s already, so Matz is really using the strike zone, using his fastball. Not a lot of couple calls not going his way, but I like the fact that he's throwing in. I love that he's just challenging guys in, even if it is off the plate. They're close and they're pitches that you think about.
Driven into the gap left center and off the wall. Played perfectly by Carlson, and a relay to the plate. It's in time. No. And the game is tied at 2-2. But Dillon played that carom perfectly. The relay to Sosa, and they come up just shy of the tag at the plate. And Drury now is driven in 54.
Kind of lost the exchange with Sosa from that play, and this ball's killed right here. And you're right, Carlson played it perfectly, but that ball just got to get there a little bit better from Sosa. It's a 2-hopper in that grass. That ball just stopped dead on that thick grass in the hot Cincinnati infield.
And Mike Maddox out to talk to Steven Matz, who clearly was frustrated on the 3-2 pitch to India. That resulted in a walk. And then Drury, who has been arguably the best hitter for the Reds in their lineup, brings in 2 to tie it up. Mike Maddox, born in Dayton, Ohio, and he was originally selected by the Reds in 1979, but then went to Texas El Paso and then enjoyed a long major league career. So runner at second is Brandon Drury, and here's Tommy Pham. He singled to center first time up. The top of this inning is one of those innings that you look at and you hope it does not come back to haunt the Cardinals. But you had second and third, nobody out. Albert grounds out to third. Then there was the intentional walk to load him up, and Donovan and Sosa could not come through to extend the lead. As you well know, Jimmy, I mean, that has a way of catching up with you in a big league game.
Yeah, those runs are the runs you have to get in. Albert just rushed a little bit, had a slider. He kind of pounded it into the dirt, and it's just an unfortunate of that walking Tommy Edman and then Donovan's situation. But wow, I mean, you've got to figure out a way to get a run in there. It's like you said, a tough way to lose a run in these games. They're oh so important.
And the count on Tommy Pham is 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Reds, as a team with runners in scoring position, their average is 280. That's the best in baseball. In the series, they're 3 for 4. And the 2-2 pitch by Matz. And Pham hits a fly ball into right center. Catch made by Carlson. He'll fire to third. And it's cut off by Sosa. So tagging up the play was Drury from second to third.
I'm surprised he cut that ball off right there.
There's no reason to. He knows it's on line. Why would you cut it off?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's no one else on, and that's what I was going to say. Yeah. You're right. You just let it go and just see what happens if the guy slides off the bag or something.
There's Joey Votto with 2 outs, and the runner at third is Drury. Votto is swing and a miss. He struck out his first time up.
I mean, he's going to give you everything he has. Wow. That is really going to be close.
Shouldn't have cut it off.
No.
The other part of that, Jimmy, is that Sosa knows where he's at on the field in terms of being aligned with where the catch is made, where third base is at. Nobody else on base. Let it go through. Now, could hit the runner, and that could happen, but you also got a shot to get him. Go.
Yeah, the only thing I saw right there is it was tailing it down, which meant that maybe he thought the throw wasn't strong enough. But like I said, and what your point, there's no point, there's no reason to cut it just because there's nobody else on base. If it hits the runner, it hits the runner. You can't control that. But if there's no one else running, you might as well let it kind of cruise on through. You just never know.
Tommy Edman very deep from his second base position in shallow right. And that's taken for a ball. He's a good 20-25 feet in the outfield grass. Apparently that will be limited next year with some of the adjustments with the shift.
I hope they don't put a white line out there in the field.
The 1-2 pitch.
Give up then.
And lined out of play.
It'll be like a football field out there.
Yeah.
And little hash marks.
So long inning here for Steven Matz in the bottom of the third. Go ahead run at third base. That's Drury. Big gap in right center. And Votto chops it up the middle. Sosa has it. And he makes the play. The double that brings in two by Drury that scores Colesbury and India. And we're tied up. It's 2-2. As we move to the fourth inning. It'll be Andrew Kisner, Dylan Carlson, and Tyler O'Neill. So new life for Minor and the Reds. Minor in his last start, it was against the Yankees. 91 pitches, went 4 innings, gave up 5 runs. He's actually winless in his last 5 starts. And winless at home this year. And the first pitch is strike. The second time through a lineup, the average against him is .360, and that's been the case here tonight. Second time through, the Cardinals have 4 hits and the intentional walk in the 0-1 pitch. Kisner gets underneath it and pops it foul as he popped out with 2 runners on first time up. And the next pitch, Kisner, it's a fly ball out to Tommy Pham, drifting over in left center. Under it to make the catch. And now a word from Siteman Cancer Center.
The Brain Tumor Center at Siteman, committed to research, invested in technology, powered by Washington University physicians.
And the top of the lineup. Cardinals with a little shake-up tonight, putting Dylan Carlson at the top. And he's 1 for 2 with a run scored and another extra base hit. So at an 8th inning double last night, he's got a double in the 3rd inning tonight. That's 5 consecutive games. That ties Paul Goldschmidt's streak of extra base hits of 5, the most this year by a Cardinal. He's done a nice job in center field, and again the news was not great with Harrison Bader as they're hoping to get him back at some point, and there's even talking maybe this weekend, but that will not be the case. And they 1-1. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Oh, you're right, though. He has done a really nice job, and I think your partner over here told you that was going to happen if you put him in center field. I think he's just one of those guys that pays attention to the game as much as he is talented. And you know, if you're going to lose your center fielder, he's the guy you want out there. And hopefully Harrison comes back, both of them in the lineup. But right now, he's doing quite a nice job.
And they were hopeful that Bader would be in the field tonight in Memphis, and he is not in their lineup in their ball game tonight. The 2-2 pitch, and that caught Carlson, so he's hit by the pitch. And the leadoff man was retired, Kisner. Now with one out, Carlson aboard for Tyler O'Neill as Carlson is trotting ever so gingerly down that first base line. Got the front foot right on top of it.
Right on top. Thanks.
There's Tyler O'Neill, had a base hit to right field. It was his 31st run batted in. And then scored after stealing his 7th bag of the year. And Carlson diving back in and slowly getting up at first base.
Limpo would limp down to first and then pick over as if he's going to take off. That makes you might want to. Then you might want to take off.
And the first pitch, O'Neill hits it out to center. Senzel going back at the wall, gone. Tyler O'Neill dead center field with a 2-run homer, and the Cardinals go back on top. It's 4-2 St. Louis, and Tyler O'Neill has driven in 3 of the 4.
It's a really good look, Danny. This is what we were talking about earlier. You can see right there, he's not trying to manipulate the ball to right field. He's just swinging. Both of the balls he hit tonight are little spinners. And that's the Tyler O'Neill from last year that is just letting the ball get deep and hammering it. Earlier this year, before he got hurt, he literally was getting his hips out of the way and trying to stay inside it. I think he just got a little carried away with hitting the ball to right field, and that looks so much better.
Tyler O'Neill with his 5th home run of the year, and he's driven in 5 in the first 2 games of this series. And the 2-0 pitch to Goldie. Ooh, what a rip. 2-1. Paul Goldschmidt homered in the first inning of the All-Star game. Albert Pujols had a deep fly to left, a pinch hit at bat. Back-to-back jacks. Oh my goodness, how far? Way out of here. Back-to-back homers. O'Neill and now Goldie. That's number 22. Some of the Cardinal fans begin to chant MVP here in Cincinnati.
It's coming. It keeps going like this. He's going to run away with it, but that's another cutter. Little spinner. Same ball O'Neill hit. This ball is just closer to him, a little bit more in the middle of the plate in. What a great swing.
And it's a 5-2 St. Louis lead. So the night that he picks up career RBI number 1,000, he gets 1,001 with one swing of the bat. He now has 22 home runs. He's driven in 74. Arenado way out in front, and it's 0-2 with Albert Pujols on deck. Spoiled by Arenado. It's the 5th time the Cardinals have gone back-to-back this season. The last time was on July 2nd when they had 4 consecutive home runs in the first inning. And the 0-2. A swing and a miss. Strikeout number 3 for Minor. There's 2 away, and it brings in Albert Pujols. Bank of America, impressive tools, and Albert, incredible numbers in his career against the Cincinnati Reds.
I think he could have the Bank of America impressive tools for the career against most teams. Not too shabby.
685 career home runs. And that's lined out to left. And a one-hopper off the wall. Stopped by the chain link fence. Pham has to dig it out. Albert into second. Save with a double. He's got 2 hits tonight. And he's 2 for 3. A chain link fence out in left just deadened the ball, and so then Tommy Pham had to go out and dig it from the bottom there in the left field corner.
He's flying, Danny. Look at him go.
Swinging the bat very, very well.
Yeah, he is. And you notice I don't really see the big, massive leg kick, you know, where he was hanging in the air. I think it's toned down so much, and the bat's quicker. Yeah, maybe he's not going to hit as many home runs, but I would rather see him hit 300 because he's going to drive in more runs, and he's going to play more.
Well, the great respect that David Bell has for Tommy Edman. That's the second time he has intentionally walked him. And now runners at first and second. And Donovan would love to atone for back in the third. He had the bases loaded and 1 out. And hit it softly back to Mike Minor, who had a force play at the plate. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Donovan. And Donovan hits a little pop-up. Farmer, the shortstop, will make the catch. Cardinals go back-to-back. Tyler O'Neill with his 5th home run, a 2-run shot to center. And then Goldie, a no-doubter, number 22. And it's a 5-2 St. Louis lead. Telecast presented by authority of the Cardinals, not to be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Underway here in the bottom of the 4th. O'Neill and Goldschmidt back-to-back home runs. This is Kyle Farmer. And a fastball in for a strike, 1-1. Farmer grounded out to second his first time up. A swing and a miss, 1-2.
Well, Matz is, I mean, he must have been listening to us and watching some of the games. It looked like he's really made an effort to work a little bit quicker. And he's really getting after the fastball.
I think to your point earlier, he's pitching inside.
I mean, I think he always has, but I think when you see a guy like this with the extra velocity, he's not afraid to do it a little bit more, you know. He knows. That's one thing I really liked about Matz when he first got here. He struggled a little bit. He had success a little bit, but he threw a lot of fastballs and he challenged hitters in so he could use the breaking ball and stuff. And I think that's his strong suit. But always talk about this. If you're going to come inside and you're going to challenge, you're going to wake hitters up. So you can't miss. And when you miss, and that's why I think he gives up the home runs and just got to keep guys off base. But 8 home runs. I mean, he's given up a lot of home runs in his career, but if that's what you're going to do and that's how you got to do it, you just have to make the adjustment and you got to get the ball in there.
And everything feeds off the fastball. And that's the one thing that I've noticed, Jimmy, and I didn't realize it before, but he throws hard. I mean, he's throwing 95, 96 here tonight.
Well, I think the thing, too, is you really do. When you throw pitches like that over and over and over, you might as well knock somebody down. I mean, that's kind of like you're waking up the hitter. And if you keep pounding them in, you keep trying to throw in, you keep throwing strikes in, the guys are going to get upset and they're going to start taking bigger swings like that. You miss, that's when the home runs come. When you keep making those pitches and pitches around the plate, you're going to get outs.
That'll be his second strikeout. He's now 8 away from 750 in his career. Chevy pitch tracks.
So you can see right here, he's Yeah, he sees fastball and he wants to get after it, but it's out of the zone.
Well, Matz last year tied for the American League lead in wins among left-handed pitchers. He had 14. Was with the Toronto Blue Jays after a number of years with the Mets. That's taken high, and this is Donovan Solano. Popped out to second first time up. And the 1-1 pitch by Matz.
You can even see right there, Danny. See the front shoulder take off a little bit early, even though the fastball is middle away and straight right there. Solano's front shoulder just leaked a little bit, thinking he might try to come inside.
And that'll be a base hit out to left. A 1-out hit for Solano, and the third hit allowed by Matz tonight. Brings in Senzel, grounded out to Paul Goldschmidt, first time up. Cardinals wrap up the series tomorrow, and we'll have it for you here on Bally Sports Midwest. Miles Michaelis going for St. Louis, 33-year-old. Hasn't pitched in this ballpark since September of last season. And the first pitch to Senzel is a swing and a miss. The 0-1 had him out in front, popped up. Sosa, the shortstop, calling for it, has it, and that'll be out number 2.
I think you can keep an eye on that front shoulder, and you can see most of these Reds will pull off from pitch to pitch just because of either they've gotten a fastball in or they see the guy in front of them getting fastballs in, and so you go up there thinking about fastball in. If you don't get it, you're basically going to just leak a little bit, just enough to have those weak pop-ups and swing and misses at the sliders and the changeup.
And now time is called. Here's Fairchild, was hit by a pitch back in the 3rd inning. Cardinals with a shift and a swing and a miss. Get a lot of swings and misses here tonight.
He's got some life. Like I said, he's challenging him. Get a little cheating going on. So if you just stay out of the middle, you know, right now, if he stays out of the middle in area, he's going to be successful because everyone's just getting a little bit aggressive.
Cardinals will have Sosa, Kisner, and Carlson due up. Looking ahead to the 5th. And the 1-1 pitch by Steven Matz on its way. 2 balls and a strike. Matz had a couple of starts with the Mets against the Reds. 2015. He's had 1 start this year. He went 5 innings, picked up a win. It was actually here at the Great American Ballpark. 5 innings, 7 hits. Drafted in 2009, just like his counterpart, Mike Minor. Pretty good draft class that included Mike Trout, Paul Goldschmidt, Nolan Arenado, Kyle Seager, Steven Strasburg was the first overall pick. In terms of career WAR, Trout is the best in that class, and then it's Goldie 2, Arenado 3. Miles Michaelis also part of that draft class, and he comes back to get him, and a strikeout for Steven Matz. 2 in the inning and 3 in the game. We head to the 5th on this Saturday night, and St. Louis with a 5-2 lead. On Bally Sports Midwest, brought to you by BMW. Experience the ultimate driving machine at a BMW center near you. and only St. Louis Children's, Missouri's #1 pediatric hospital. Sun just about setting here in Cincinnati. Nice crowd on hand. It's 5-2. New pitcher in. Chevy called to the pen as the Cardinals get into the Reds bullpen here in the 5th. And it's the right-hander, Jeff Hoffman. Reds pitchers in all of baseball last in ERA. Second in walks. 5th in highest opponent's batting average against. Matter of fact, the first 25 games of the season in which they were 3-22, the ERA was 7. So Minor goes 4 innings, 5 runs on 8 hits, strikes out 3, gives up the back-to-back homers, 4 walks, 2 of which were intentional. Sosa 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts, and he pops it up right side, out of play. The Reds have 1 lefty in their pen. That's it. And they carry 7 right-handers. And for Hoffman, he leads the relievers of the Reds in innings, 42 coming into play. A lot of times he'll go multiple innings. 15 times he's done that.
Pretty much fastball, curveball, or sorry, fastball, slider, change. He will throw the changeup to righties too.
And the 1-2 pitch. It is fouled back. Sosa here, then Kisner and Carlson.
I think it's interesting when you look at the stats, Danny, and you look down at the relievers, and you just see this blank sheet of pitches thrown in the last 7 days. As a manager, you got to be like, all right, who do I got to get work? Who didn't throw on their off days? Who didn't come early? You know, who's been throwing? It's all about who's done what. But I mean, every single guy has had 5 and 6 days off.
Well, coming off the All-Star break, you will get that, obviously. So guys should be pretty rested coming into this.
I think it's just funny to see that, because normally we're looking at it and the sheet is full of pitches thrown days in a row, and who's unavailable tonight, who's thrown too many pitches this week. Well, you got everybody.
And last night they had San Martin, Farmer, Diaz, Jabot, and Strickland. Cardinals used Hicks, Oviedo, and then Thompson. And a count of 2-2, the 8th pitch of the at bat, and it's 3-2. If you're Derek Johnson, this has got to drive you crazy. You've got Sosa, who is struggling tonight. He's 0 for 2, and a 2-2 pitch that is 2 feet outside.
Yeah, you're hitting 185. Doesn't play every day. Free swinging
Sosa
everywhere.
Gets a base hit out to left. Thinking 2 out of the box with his speed, on his way to second, and standing up with a double to start play here in inning number 5. And now a quick word from Ryan Kelly.
Danny, the credit card bills never stop.
Pay him off with a cash out refinance with Ryan Kelly.
Don't be afraid of the mailbox. TheHomeLoanExpert.com.
I don't know about you, but I don't know how you don't laugh at some of those. Sorry, I just go speechless for a minute after seeing some really nice commercials.
Here's Kisner, and it's fouled back. I think it's some of the best work we've seen from the Cat. I really do.
Don't be afraid of the mailbox. Feel like that's me every day.
And the 0-1 pitch popped up off the bat of Kisner. And the second baseman, India, coming in to make that grab. And the first out. And again, top of the lineup. This will already be the 4th plate appearance for the Cardinals leadoff man. And it's Dylan Carlson, who is 1 for 2 tonight with 2 runs scored. He's flied to right, doubled, and a 5th consecutive game with an extra base hit. Was hit by a pitch in the 4th and brought in the 2-run homer hit by O'Neill as O'Neill and Goldie went back to back. And a shift on the right side. Ali specifically talking about Carlson from this side of the plate, and they like what they're seeing. They think it's been better here in the last couple of weeks.
I think he's getting there, you know. I think he was on his heels a lot again. I think he fixed that. And then I think the All-Star break a little bit messed with him again. And then yesterday, well, that's twice.
Second time he's been hit.
On the feet. Both feet too.
Run on top of the toes there, and he got it the other time on top of the left foot. So the Cardinals have runners at first and second now for Tyler O'Neill.
Any way you can get on, huh?
That's the case right now, and here's O'Neill. Good series for Tyler. Brought in 2 last night. He's driven in 3 tonight. He scored a pair of runs and has his 7th stolen base. Runners at first and second, and the 1-0 pitch to O'Neill. The Cardinals in the first 4 innings stranded 8. They've had activity on the bases all night long. A big gap in left center, and the next to O'Neill. 2-1, and Goldie on deck. The Allstate mayhem moment to dead center field, and home run number 5 on the year for Tyler O'Neill.
I just love it every time you watch a home run. 95% of the time you can watch the catcher reach back the opposite direction of where he's set up. He wanted that ball inside right there.
So Carlson at first, 5th time he's been hit by a pitch. First time ever, multiple times hit by a pitch in the same game. And Sosa at second base. O'Neill hits it a mile high. Is it playable? It's near the screen, and the catch is made. Colesbury there as that ball came back into the field of play, and he'll call time, and there's 2 away. Almost overran it.
The wind's blowing a little bit up there, we've seen in the outfield, but sometimes you can forget about it as a catcher because you're down underneath, basically close to the stands. You don't feel that wind. But you're right, he almost overran that.
Here's Paul Goldschmidt. He's been on base 3 times. Walk, single, and a home run. His single back in the 3rd was also an RBI single to left to bring in O'Neill and give him 1,000 runs batted in his terrific career. And the 0-1 pitch to Goldie off the plate, and it's a ball and a strike. Back in the 4th inning, back to back, and no doubt about it.
Almost loud.
22 this year, and he's up to 74 runs batted in. The 1-1. It's a good take right there. Thought about pulling the trigger on it. And now it's a hitter's count, 2 balls and 1 strike. Reds will have Colesbury, India, and Drury coming up in their half of the fifth. The 2-1 pitch to Paul Goldschmidt. Out to shallow left. Farmer called off by Pham, and he'll make the catch. So the Cardinals in 5 innings have left 10 on. They lead at 5-2.
Cincinnati, Tyler O'Neill is hitting in the number 2 spot for the 2nd straight game, and he's having a big night. Ollie Marmol moved Tyler up, hoping that hitting in front of Goldie and Arenado would jumpstart him. O'Neill is on board with the move. Tyler told me last year I hit 3, 4, 5, so number 2 is a different look for me, but I'm really excited about the opportunity. Hitting in front of the big boys, you try to get on base as much as possible, and I feel like I'm ready for that. Dan, Tyler spent the first half dealing with various injuries. He said he looked at the All-Star break as a reset for him.
And he said Ollie was talking about it because initially yesterday O'Neill was not in that 2nd spot in the lineup, and then changed it. Just kind of went with a gut, looked at some different things, gut feeling about it, showed Tyler that, and he said, let's go. He said, that's where I need to be and need to pick it up. And the Cardinals certainly need him to be the guy that he was at the tail end of last season. It's been a lot of Goldie, it's been a lot of Arenado, 2 of the game's best, but who else could step up? And let's see if it is Tyler O'Neill. Arenado has been, well, he's been Nolan Arenado, one of the game's best, and Goldie at another level right now. The 1-2 pitch, and taken low by Colesbury. So Tyler Stevenson, the BJC injury update, broken clavicle, and Colesbury called up, and that's why he's in the lineup tonight. 2-2 pitch, fastball, and struck him out on the inside corner. And that's number 4 tonight for Steven Matz. Talked about pitching inside, pitching effectively, and he dots it. Little crossfire, couldn't pull the trigger, and a strikeout. The Chevy pitch tracks, and back to the top of the lineup. Jonathan India flied to right, also walked and scored the RBI double from Brandon Drury, who's on deck. First pitch is strike. So Matz tonight is struck out 4. He's hit a man. He's walked 1 and allowed 3 hits. Quickly, 0-2. And the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and back-to-back Ks. 96 from Matz. He struck out 3 in a row, and now 4 out of the last 6.
You know you got good life and you can just rear back and throw. And this one right here, he's just trying to throw the ball middle away, and he throws it right where he's supposed to, and he gives it a little bit of extra. That is nice right there. When you can reach back and do that and stay in control and throw the ball where you're trying to throw it, you know you're on point with your mechanics.
Now Drury, and pitch taken high. And the 1-0. 1 ball and 1 strike.
You know what I like about some of these older guys too, these veterans. He's right there. We did it last night with Wainwright. 3-1 threw a breaking ball, or 2-2 threw a breaking ball, got a ball. We're right there. Matz throws first pitch breaking ball. That's kind of the pitch he wants to use, and it's a ball. What does he do? He just throws it again. He knows he can regroup and throw it for a strike to get him even in the count. And then as a hitter, you're thinking, okay, well, is he going to throw another one of those? I know. I could see. You could see what he's doing. Now he's got feel, and then he goes upstairs with 95.
The 1-2, swing and a miss, and he strikes out the side here in the bottom of inning number 5. And Matt's up to 6 Ks tonight. We head to the 6th inning. Arenado, Albert, and Tommy Edman coming up. 5-2 Redbirds. Saturday, August 13th, Cardinals and the Brewers. That day, 25,000 fans, ages 16 and older, receive a 1982 Final Out bobblehead. It's presented by Coca-Cola and Schnucks. Bruce Sutter, Darrell Porter celebrating the last out of Game 7 of that World Series. Tickets at Cardinals.com/promotions. Joel Kuhnel is the new pitcher in. He's a non-roster invitee to the Major League spring training camp. He's found a home in the bullpen for the Reds. And it's a ball and a strike.
With a good fastball too, 95, 96. Good hard changeup, slider.
He's a third pitcher used.
Short arm. David Bell trying to fill in all the marks, all the empty holes in the last 7 days, trying to get everybody in there.
And it's
looking at me.
1-2 here on Arenado. And it's taken high, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Just an indication to let you know when to talk, Jimmy. And whenever you want to speak, you go right ahead.
That's why I have to wave at you sometimes when you're locked in.
Two balls and 2 strikes. Arenado tonight fly to right. Doubled back in the 3rd, struck out in the 4th. And the next pitch ripped and fair down into the left field corner. It's another double for Nolan Arenado. And Nolan is up to 24 on the year. The team leader is Goldie with 28. And his second hit tonight.
It's a great swing. Another good swing. That's 2 tonight. Balance is better. We talked about him being a little bit beat up, sore. How do you not get beat up when you play like this guy? I mean, he's all out, all over the field, hits the ball hard, runs the bases hard, dives all over the place at third, throws across his body. So you give him some time off and starts to turn it around at the plate.
And here is Albert Pujols. 2 hits tonight. Single to left on a 3-0 pitch. And he also has a double.
As you get older, Danny, I'm telling you, that All-Star break is a dream come true. And then you look at the schedule and realize you don't play till Friday. And then you get rained out. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they pulled the old Bull Durham out there and just told Billy Finley, just leave the tarp. Just leave it out there for a little while. Let it rain a little bit more. Many days off as you can.
The Cardinals have a pretty good amount of days off here in the second half, and certainly on this road trip with the day off Monday and then another one coming up on Thursday. And a 2-1 pitch to Albert Pujols. He is 11 shy of 4th all time in the home run department. 685 for Albert. A-Rod was 696. And now 11th in history with the multi-hit games, tied with Eddie Murray. And a 2-2 pitch to Albert Pujols. Spoiled it. He is now, after tonight, 1 game away from Stan the Man and Eddie Murray for 6th all-time in games played in the history of baseball. And tonight is game number 3025. And he calls time as Kuhnel was ready to deliver. Albert wasn't ready, and now he is. The familiar scowl of Albert Pujols. And a fly ball lifted out to deep left field. Did he get enough? Tommy Pham back with just enough room. And the reaction of Albert says it all. He was like, oh, you got to be kidding me. He thought he had it. Just enough room for Tommy Pham. Albert was about halfway down. Oh, you got to be kidding me.
If you're watching this on TV, it looked like he popped this up to shortstop. If you're looking at your monitor versus looking at it live, it's two different looks, but I was shocked how far that ball went.
And now it is Tommy Edman, who's been intentionally walked twice in this game. And also fly to deep center. Arenado at second. Edman 1 for 4 against this right-hander, and it's a home run. One ball and one strike. So the Cardinals in 5 innings of play tonight. They've had base runners on in every inning. They've stranded 10. And they lead it 5-2. Base hit out to left. And Arenado will score easily. Edman slipping around first base, but stays on his feet. He's at second base with a double to extend the Cardinal lead to 6-2.
That's what I talked with you before the game about Tommy facing a lefty, with just his ability to hit right-handed and what that does. I think it gets him going. He has 2 walks and now a base hit. Been on base 3 times, all the way down at the bottom of the order. And it's really funny because you think about all of the guys on the team and he's the one getting the intentional walks.
Well, 6 of the 11 hits have been doubles tonight. Then you add a couple of home runs, so 8 of the 11 hits have gone for extra bases. And a pitch on the inside corner.
Making up for that last time through with no home runs in that 3-game series here in this small ballpark.
And Donovan takes a pitch outside, and it's a count of 2-1. So they pitched around Edman twice to get to Brendan Donovan. And tonight he is stranded 5 in this game. He had the bases loaded one time. He had runners at first and second and a man at second and walked, and now he lines it out to left field. Catch made by Pham. Edman back to the bag at second, and there's 2 away.
That's what he needed with the bases loaded right there. Just a fly ball to left. A little too late.
There's Sosa, who has a couple of strikeouts tonight and also a double to left. But Kuno just waits until that initial moment in which a batter gets in the box, and he's delivering. He was quick there on Edmundo Sosa. And Sosa takes a pitch high, and it's a count of 1 ball and 1 strike.
It's got to be a sneaky 95 too. Look how late he pulls his arm up to release the ball. So short arm, generate that kind of velocity.
Kept in front by Colesbury, and it's 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. 3-1. Well, last night 3 of the 5 runs were scored with 2 outs. Tonight none of those runs have come with 2 outs for the Cardinals, leading 6-2. Let it fly on 3-1. Now full count with 2 outs, runner at second. Cardinals about hit the Reds 11-3 in this game. And the 3-2 pitch. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. It's a strikeout of Sosa. Rung up by Jeremy Riggs. Midway through 6, the RBI double by Edman to bring in Arenado, and it's 6-2. It's the home half of the 6th inning. Steven Matz has struck out 4 in a row. Struck out the side in inning number 5. And he has struck out 5 of the last 7 he's seen. First pitch, a strike to Tommy Pham. Working with a great pace here tonight. And that's pulled foul, and it's 0-2, and the ball boy had 0 chance to get that. I mean, none.
Kind of like the one before.
The effort,
the one before
wasn't bad. I mean, he actually acted like he was going to try to go for it. It was only about 10 feet behind him. And a strikeout of Tommy Pham. 5 strikeouts in a row for Matz and 7 in the game.
That poor bat boy, if he wouldn't have got up to catch the first one, it might have hit him right in the chest. Got up and moved and hit him in the thigh. It's scary down there. You should look at this pitch. He's just getting, I mean, like you said, talking about feeling it. He gets ahead in the count right now, and he is just attacking the hitters.
So 7 strikeouts tonight. He has walked 1. He's hit a man, and just 3 hits allowed. Here is Joey Votto, who's 0 for 2. And there's strike 1. I mean, he's just dotting with that crossfire in the fastball. Elevated that a time or 2. That's been beneficial. And a weak ground ball hit slowly to first. Matt's coming over, and it's a fair ball. And now he gets up limping. No, 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 no. This is the absolute last thing that Matz or the Cardinals can have happen. He's holding the left knee.
Watching that video, it could have been anything. You could almost see that play developing too, Danny, from up here, and you're almost like, just get out of the way and let Paul field that ball. Oh boy.
So Junior Fernandez will have to come in now and take all the time that he needs in a game in which Steven Matz was pitching his best baseball as a Cardinal in his return to the rotation. Difference maker of the night for Steven Matz. At one point, he strikes out 5 in a row, 7 in the game tonight, 3 hits. He walked 1, hit a man, and 5 in a third. And you got to wonder what's going through his mind right now. And just you're hopeful, Jimmy, that it's not serious, that it's something that they, can get through. And you do have off days coming up, which could maybe help the situation, and you skip a time in the rotation. But still, bottom line is that's tough to see, because Steven Matz was outstanding here tonight.
Well, I think the worst part about the injury, if you think about it, is it's the knee. And so that's going to take doctor's visits and probably an MRI just to make sure. So as Ollie probably knows, there's nothing to even think about for a couple of days, because there's nowhere he can go fast enough to get everything checked out, especially being on the road. So we just got to hope for the best.
Junior Fernandez in. And the 0-1 pitch to Farmer. And a ground ball. Gloved by Sosa. And they'll get the lead runner. That's Votto. And that's out number 2. So here it is one more time. Trying to make the play on the soft roller hit by Joey Votto. And you wonder if it just rolls a little bit longer into the glove of Goldie and you're out of this thing. But instead he went for it. Can't fault him for that. You're trying to be aggressive and gets hurt on the play. There's Donovan Solano. And Solano with a base hit into center, his second hit tonight. One to left and now to center, and he's 2 for 3. And the batter will be Senzel. He's 0 for 2 tonight.
This is where you got to get the out right here. You cannot allow this to go any further.
And they'll pinch hit with Tyler Naquin, who had a big night last night. They've also got Moustakas on their bench from the left side. The switch hitting backup catcher Papirski and Matt Reynolds. He's had 3 different stints on the IL. Missed 37 games. So Naquin to pinch hit here for Senzel. Runners at first and second, 2 outs, and a swing and a miss. Number of years.
Smart. Sorry, Danny, go ahead. I was just going to say, just be smart. Get the ball down.
A 196 career pinch hitter with 3 doubles, a triple. He's driven in 9. And the 0-1 taken high, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Boy, just when you think, Jimmy, you get a little momentum with Steven Matz and the way that he's throwing and finally getting healthy, this happens.
Well, I was going to say earlier as we were watching him walk off, the whole organization has to be so excited watching this game, and then all of a sudden your heart just drops. Boom. I mean, that Steven Matz right there was exactly what you asked for when you got him, man. Man, he was dealing, and it was awesome to watch. And those kind of games right there is like an aha moment too for your pitching staff. Like, look at what he's doing now. It's just another addition, a veteran, and then just wham, lights out just like that.
Well, hopefully he'll be all right and nothing too serious. Junior Fernandez with a count of 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 runners on. Tyler Naquin at the plate. And the next. Junior has figured it out this year. Always had that big arm, but implemented the sinker, and that's been awfully good. And the 2-2 pitch by Fernandez. Fouled back. 100 from Junior. That'll play.
I think.
Well, Naquin last night was 2 for 4 with a triple and brought in 4. Fernandez, his 12th appearance. We last time saw him on the 13th of this month against the Dodgers. And the 7 strikeouts for Matz. That's his season high. And 3rd time this season he's done that. And the 2-2 pitch. Struck him out. A called third strike. And Junior Fernandez gets the final 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. And coming up, Tyler O'Neill due up third. He is homered tonight with a 2-run shot, also an RBI single. 7th inning rolls in. Is the new pitcher. His 28th appearance coming out of the pen, and the 4th pitcher used by the Reds here tonight, and it's our Chevy called to the pen. They got 4 out of minor, then Hoffman the 5th, Kuno the 6th, Moretta here in the 7th. 6-2 Cardinals. They've out hit the Reds 11-4, and it is the Gateway Honda home run inning. And Fairchild is in center now. And Naquin takes over in right.
It's like every guy they bring out of the bullpen has a couple miles an hour over the next guy. This guy, 96 average fastball. Another slider changeup guy. So be ready to hit again.
And it'll be Kisner, the first man that'll face. Andrew is hitless tonight. He's 0 for 3 in the first pitch to him. Fastball and a strike. Joey Votto playing off the line about as far as you can. You know, the danger with that, Jimmy, and you played some first base, if you're going to play that far off the line, number one, going for a ball to your right. You know, that's not something you're accustomed to. But then the simple idea of getting back to the first base bag for a throw.
Well, if you look at that picture, was a great picture, because if you're going to play that far off the bag, you have to move in. So every step you go to your right, every 2 steps to your right is basically 1 step in from a normal position. But you're right, it puts you in no man's land. And if you go to your right, you're basically playing second base. If you take a couple steps to your right, and then if you have a fast runner and say you hit a hard shot to third, I mean, the third baseman's going to want to pick up the ball and throw it. There's no way he's going to be there on time. So he's going to be throwing it at the bag.
And I guess you can get away with that with a guy like Kisner. And it's not like he doesn't run. You know, he's not Tommy Edman. Don't get me wrong. But he runs okay.
Yeah, he runs okay. And you know what? Basically, it's just covering ground. You're not even thinking about going to your right. As soon as the ball's hit, you're just running to first base. Because I'm telling you, playing first base over there when the ball's hit to someone else, it's sheer panic to get to first base in time to turn around and catch the throw.
So on the flip side, it kind of makes it a difficult play for the other infielders. In a way, you're leading the first baseman to the bag, not just having a stationary target there.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I'm saying, like, that's why you see him so shallow and closer to the plate. But he knows his own range. But like I said, your first instinct has to be just straight to first base as quickly as you can get there. And so you're almost covering more ground. You're actually probably not covering any more ground than you normally would, because if he's throwing 96 and Kisner's late, it's a double down the right field line. But you're really only thinking one thing, and that is just running back to the bag. So it's kind of hard to play defense that way.
And a 1-1 pitch to Dylan Carlson, and that is fouled back. Dylan has been on base 3 times. He's been on base twice with a hit by pitch on both his feet, and also doubled down the left field line and scored back in the 3rd. In the leadoff spot tonight with Tyler O'Neill on deck. And the 1-2 taken high, and it's 2-2. When we get official word from the Cardinals, we'll pass it along to you as to the injury of Steven Matz. And the 2-2 pitch to Carlson. So there's times, Jimmy, you see that swing, and then you see from this side of the plate with this kind of shift. I think he's one of the better for the Cardinals from this side of the plate, just kind of sticking the bat out, taking what's given, and hitting that little soft liner or ground ball on the left side of the infield.
Yeah, and I think too, in this situation, if you got a guy throwing hard, I just don't get it, really. I mean, I understand he's not the guy that's kind of trying to flip the ball the other way and does hit the ball on the ground a lot. But with a guy throwing above 93, 94, I mean, I got to straighten out a little bit if I'm the infielders. I just don't fully understand it, unless you're just going to keep pounding him in.
Like that.
And if you do that and you miss, I mean, I guess you don't have to really catch the ball. It might end up there in the red seats up in right center field. Well, take your pick. I don't know. It just doesn't give me common sense, right? I mean, we talk about it all the time. If you're going to play a guy like that, you better pitch him that way. You better make sure it's soft, nothing hard out over the plate, especially late. I just think guys are flipping. You know, like you said, he can flip the bat at the ball. I mean, he doesn't do it all the time, but it's possible, and that just kills you right here.
He's trying to do it right there. And he lines out to Tommy Pham. Back to the bag goes Kisner, and there's one away. If you feel the need for speed, that's Top Gun Maverick, and that means I'm reading the wrong promo, because I got to tell you about coaches who care. And that's youth baseball and softball coaches, and they help positively shape the lives of their players through sportsmanship, leadership, character building. And the Cardinals want to celebrate those coaches. Cardinals.com/coaches who care. And if I got you on the edge of the seat, wherever you may be, Top Gun Maverick night is coming up as well.
That was a great job right there. It's amazing when you're as good as you are. It's just amazing to watch.
Well, Bill Cochran is our producer, and he said, "Did I just mess you up?" And I, nope. Bill, you did not. That's all on me. I just read the wrong promo.
Just messed yourself up. Sometimes we could just do it to ourselves.
So you got coaches who care, and you get Top Gun Maverick, all in one fell swoop.
2-for-1 promo.
You got it. There's a strike. Because he had said, "Hey, coaches who care," and I looked down. I said, "If you feel the need for speed." Wait a minute, that doesn't sound like coaches who care.
Coaches could fly.
That was funny. Short lead at first, Kisner. Here's Tyler O'Neill. And the 1-1 is way outside. Boy, look at Colesbury sliding and moving back there. Whew.
Catchers that care.
Look at the moves here. Oh, yeah.
It's like the goalie on the ice.
I'll tell you what, Enesis Cabrera is nodding right now in the bullpen, saying that's a nice move. Need to incorporate that one.
You haven't done your hop, skip, and a jump in a while.
Not. May come tonight. Catch made by Votto in fair territory off the bat of Tyler O'Neill. I think he may have snow coned that thing.
Sure, it's happened a few times.
Sure has. All right, here's Goldie, and he is homered tonight. He also has a base hit to left. That was in the third. That was RBI number 1,000 of his career. And the home run number 22. And a strike. Now this, I know, is the Budweiser play of the game. Got that one right. And that's the RBI.
On the TV.
Brings in Tyler O'Neill. They asked for the baseball, and his 1,000th run batted in. Oh, 0-2 the count. And the 0-2 pitch to Goldie. One and two the count on the Cardinals slugger. Leads in average, homers, runs batted in for the Cardinals. And the 1-2 pitch to Goldie on its way. And a ground ball hit to third. And Drury to India. Time to stretch here at the Great American Ballpark on this Saturday night. The Cardinals with a 6-2 lead.
Zach Thompson worked a scoreless inning last night. You may have noticed an uptick in his velocity. He hit 98 on the radar gun 3 times. He hadn't hit 98 before that. Zach told me he made a slight adjustment to his leg lift before his last outing at Memphis. He wanted to create more hip-shoulder separation. Zach said that night in Memphis he reached 100 miles an hour. Danny said he also improved his spin rate and his curveball was much sharper just from that one adjustment.
Hey, Jimmy, I wanted to ask you about this, and for folks that don't see it, Jim always gets a great guest on our pregame shows. Does a wonderful job with those. I really enjoyed that interview with Zach Thompson. Tell our fans a little bit about Zach. You know, I mean, here's a guy that is working out of their bullpen right now, but is long-term something like starting? Is that what he wants to do, or is he just saying, hey, I'm just happy to be in the big leagues?
I think he feels comfortable as a starter, but he feels more comfortable doing whatever they ask of him. He spent the All-Star break getting his car at Memphis and driving to his parents to consolidate his living arrangements because he was living out of a suitcase on the road at AAA. You remember he was back in St. Louis, then he went to stretch out to be a starter, and then Dak had the neck issue, so they called him back to be a reliever. He's just happy to be here, and I'm telling you something, Dan, he's looked really, really good.
Really has. This is Fairchild. By the way, you mentioned Dakota Hudson. Have you heard anything about Dakota in your visits with Ollie?
Yeah, Ollie said that he's doing better and they anticipate him going out on a rehab assignment at some point. He wasn't sure quite when, but that Ollie did talk about him possibly going out on a rehab.
All right, Jimmy, thank you. And I don't know, well, when I got Jimmy and I got Jimmy, I'll go back to you, ball game, and that's a strikeout of Fairchild. But with what's happened to Mats tonight, and that's why I brought up Dakota Hudson. You know, sometimes, as much as you'd love to get him a rehab assignment, sometimes you got to say that rehab assignment, it's going to be in the big leagues because we need you out of necessity.
Yeah, I think you know, just like can't say enough about we don't know what's going on inside that locker room. But yeah, that's a great assessment. I mean, you never know where he's at, but if he can give you 40-50 pitches and he's healthy, I mean, you're right. That's, hey, we need you to get those pitches here. We don't have time to mess around right now.
So the strikeout of Fairchild. Here's Colesbury. I think you could see Zach Thompson being a starter at some point. Clearly, he's got swing and miss stuff. The question will be just being efficient in the strike zone. You know, you don't want to have a guy that all of a sudden is out there, let's say, you know, every time out 5 innings and it's 100 pitches. As you know, I mean, they're going to need him to be more efficient in that strike zone. But if he is, that could be a weapon in your starting rotation at some point in the future.
Well, I think that any one of those guys that got that kind of stuff and have been starters in the past, I think you've got just your overflow of talent and can't wait to figure out which way to use them. And you're right, it's just who's up next basically if you don't have healthy starters.
About 4 rows deep in a souvenir, and a very thankful lady that it wasn't 2 rows closer towards the field because she had no idea where the ball was. She's holding a couple of very important drinks, and she wanted no part of that baseball. None. To the count here on Colesbury. And he hammers one out to deep left field, and it is gone. It's a home run, sneaks over the wall in left, and the Reds are within 3. Colesbury, his first home run.
And he can go back and say he hit his first career home run off a guy who throws 100, but I got a hanging slider.
You take him anyway, wouldn't you?
Yes. A lot of mine were change-ups.
So Mike Maddox going out to talk it over here with Junior Fernandez. Fernandez came in, and the play that Steven Matz was hurt on was a slowly hit ball by Votto of the first base line, and was charged with an error on the play to add injury to, or insult to the injury, I should say. Fernandez came in, got a ground ball, a force play, then a base hit, struck out Naquin, the pinch hitter. That ended the sixth. He struck out Fairchild to start this inning, and Colesbury the home run. And now the top of the lineup, India, with nobody on and one out. The Reds are hanging around in a game in which the Cardinals have stranded 12 through 7 innings. 6-3.
You don't want to let them. You don't want to let them stay in this game. I mean, you're talking 7th inning, only one out, and he got the 8th and the 9th, obviously, but you got to shut this down and shut it down quickly.
India 0 for 2. Walked and scored back in the 3rd. And the outfield is straight away. And now he's hit by a pitch. And that also caught Kisner. And the training staffs on both sides coming out to check on India and Andrew Kisner. Some activity in the St. Louis bullpen. It's Giovanni Gallegos. And the batter is Brandon Drury, who is a double tonight that brought in 2. One swing of the bat, they're within a run.
Well, that's what I was saying right before I stopped. I'm thinking every run that they score gives them momentum, and they're saying to themselves, oh, we got one more, and there's one more, and then all of a sudden you're within a run, one run of the game, and any hanging slider is a tie game. So I'm saying you've got to keep it right here somehow.
And that's going to be it for Junior Fernandez. Cardinals will go to Giovanni Gallegos. By the way, that's India's 8th hit by pitch this year in limited time, 31 times in his career. He was hit a league high 23 last season. Hopefully he's all right. So that's going to be it for Junior Fernandez, and Gallegos will come in for St. Louis to face Drury with a runner at first base in a 6-3 game. Sports Midwest is brought to you by Ford, the official car and truck of the Cardinals, and by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Giovanni Gallegos last pitched 8 days ago against the Reds. Had an inning and struck out the side. So he'll come into the ball game here in the bottom of the 7th. Cardinals leading 6-3. Chevy called to the pen. Third pitcher used by Ali tonight, and a runner at first. Brandon Drury coming to the plate. And Drury tonight is flied to right. RBI double to left center that scored 2 in the 3rd. Struck out in the 5th. Matz went 5 1/3. Fernandez an inning. He's responsible for India. And now it's Gallegos. Outfield is deep. They are straight away. And the first pitch by Giovanni Gallegos is grounded foul. We talk about it a lot, Jimmy. You played here as a visitor. You played here with the Reds. You've seen it firsthand. There is no lead at this ballpark that feels safe.
No, it can go in a hurry on both sides, and especially in the summer. You've seen the ball carry. You've seen the ball travel. It is just one of those places you just don't know until it's over.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. It's the kind of game, too, you feel uneasy when you've stranded, if you're the Cardinals, 12 through 7 innings. A lot of times it has a way of catching up.
Yeah, you hope you can just concentrate on going forward clearly, but like I said, you're still only in the 7th. With only 1 out. And anything goes wrong here, you got a 1-run lead. That's it.
You do feel good about a rested Ryan Helsley. Certainly that's something to keep in your back pocket if you're Ollie. And the 2-1 pitch to Brandon Drury. Three and 1. Tommy Pham on deck. Right-handers hitting just 171 against Giovanni Gallegos. You've got Pham and then Votto, and the lefties are hitting 310. He's allowed 5 home runs this year. 4 have been hit by the left-handed batters. And the 3-1 pitch by Giovanni Gallegos. And 2 runners on. Then the tying run will come to the plate.
The thing for me with Gio is 36 innings. He's given up 31 hits and the 10 walks and the couple wild pitches, the 5 home runs. It's almost like he's done a really nice job. The ERA at 3.75, but he slows the game down a little bit. And if he doesn't get aggressive early, he falls in that rut and then puts everyone on their heels. And then the stats that I read out off earlier, there are a lot of base runners and a lot of movement. So when he's on, he's great. But when he gets behind, it's tough on the defense.
And the first pitch is high to Tommy Pham, head-to-head, 1 for 4 with a double against Gallegos. Tommy Pham is grounded into a team high 12 double plays this year. And there's a strike, 1-1.
I think he's the kind of guy you got to keep the ball down and in, hit over the top of it. Pretty good pitch right here, kind of in this area, I think, with the fastball too. He wants to get his hands out, arms out.
Here's a 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. That's the pitch there. He's got that going.
Yep.
He's going to have success.
For him, if that slider's working, you're right. Starts off like a strike and just goes down. Look at Tommy though, the way he's leaning. He's trying to pull the ball. He's trying to lift the ball in the air. He's thinking tie game, and that's where that slider right there is going to be big, because when you see a guy swing like that and fall backwards, he's not trying to hit the ball the other way for a base hit.
And the 1-2 pitch to Tommy Pham. Ground ball. Arenado will step on the bag. Throws off balance. Stretch. Not in time. And there's 2 away. And the dangerous Joey Votto coming up.
It's interesting play right here by Nolan. I don't think you get the double play either way, so he chooses to at least get the lead run. I think Tommy Pham's running. If you throw to second, I still don't think you have a shot at first. So take your pick right there with the outs.
And now it's Votto. Shift on the right side. He represents the tying run. And the first pitch to Votto, who's 0 for 3 tonight. Swing and a miss and a big cut. Votto head to head against Gallegos, 1 for 6. 3 walks, a couple of strikeouts. One ball and 1 strike. Two and 1. This might be your game right here. A 2-1 pitch to Joey Votto. 3-1. Kyle Farmer on deck.
I think you like that you're facing him right here with 2 outs, 1. But the second thing is probably, if you pitch decent, he's not going to hit again in the 9th, but you're definitely going to get back to the top of the lineup at some point.
Full count. Runners off with the next pitch. A 6-time All-Star, former MVP. Been doing it a long, long time. Joey Votto. And there go the runners. Votto a swing, and it's fouled back.
Just see Arenado right there. He was kind of sneaking back behind the runner at second. He starts off over there by third base just so they don't take off early, but as soon as Gio comes set, it looked like he literally shifted probably 30 feet to his left. Check this out. As soon as he comes set, I thought he was going to get behind him for a pick. Look at this. Sneaking.
Well, if he waited a second or two longer, he might have been able to.
Been able to pick back at second.
3-2 pitch. We'll do it again. But what do you go with here, Jimmy? I mean, he's pretty much shown Votto, who's such a smart, great hitter still, especially in spots like this. You've shown him everything. What do you go with?
To be honest with you, I just have to go hard. Maybe even take a chance at getting him in. But you got to get it in there. The thing with Joey is you just don't know with him. He can hit anything at any time, and you can also freeze him at any time, just whatever's on his mind. So just be careful with the slider hanging it. Either that or I just go away and down. Hopefully he can throw the strike, and he can't hit it out to right.
And a check swing. Gallegos has it. Underhands to Goldschmidt. And the threat is through on a check swing on a 3-2 pitch. 8th inning. When we come back, it's 6-3. Pujols, Tommy Edman for the Cardinals here in the 8th inning, and St. Louis leading this ball game. Arenado with a pair of doubles tonight. He's 2 for 4, and it'll be the second inning for Dowry Moreta. Gave up a base hit to Kisner last inning and then retired the next 3. And the first pitch is strike. Well, if things go to plan, you'd have to say that Gallegos would have at least the start of the 8th, depending on how it goes, and then Ryan Helsley. And
That's
a count
the
of nothing
advantage. That's the advantage that you have, Danny, is you have a guy who's a proven closer, and you can see what he has going back out there for the 8th. And then if he doesn't have it, you have another proven, basically, closer, even though he hasn't been around as long, with plus stuff, and you replace him with that. And then you have the lefty in the bullpen if you need him.
And the 0-2. Arenado to the gap in right center, and that's a base hit. And a 3-hit night on an 0-2 pitch. Lines a base hit into right center. Couple of hits tonight for Albert Pujols. For the best coverage in the game, check out the T-Mobile coverage cam. And Albert with a single and a double. Also fly to the wall in left and hit a hard ground ball to third.
Those swings look like the Albert of old right there.
They really do.
Quick. Nice little 5-day rest.
And the first pitch to Pujols. It is amazing when we show up at visiting ballparks or even at home when the visiting team comes over. Just the amount of respect for this man. But I'm thinking of Moreta here, probably grew up idolizing number 5, and here he is facing him in a 6-3 game, and Pujols sitting at 685 homers. And the next to him, Pujols hits it a ton down the left field line into the second deck, but yanked it foul. Goodness gracious.
I don't know if I've ever seen one go up there. Wow.
Jimmy, I haven't. I've never seen a ball go that high up there.
So far.
Oh my goodness. And the 1-1 pitch to Albert Pujols. 1-2. Here's the foul
right
ball.
There. He wasn't going to get another fastball. Check this out. That's halfway up the second deck.
Wow.
If it's fair. Oh my
Incredible.
gosh.
And the 1-2 pitch to Albert Pujols. And a double play ball. Out there in the turn. Safe at first. Really close at first. India kind of shaking that right hand and arm of his after he was hit. And it's going to be a challenge late in the game, and why not?
Cincinnati is challenging the safe call at first base.
Boy, that's close.
Wow.
Do have an update on Steven Matz. This is from the Cardinals PR department. Steven Matz removed from the game officially with a left knee strain, so we'll find out more tomorrow. Fans of the video board seeing it, they think that he's out.
I'm going to go with I would be shocked if they didn't call him out.
That's Mark Carlson, the crew chief.
After review, the call on the field stands. The runner is safe. Cincinnati loses their challenge.
It has to be conclusive, and I thought it might have been, but apparently not. So Albert is safe, and he's at first base. So there's only one out, and it brings in Tommy Edman. Reds lose that challenge, and here's Tommy, who's been on base 3 times tonight, potentially walked twice, and an RBI double. And the first pitch taken for a strike. 96 on the inside corner from Moretta.
I can honestly say I am shocked.
I'm a bit surprised, but again, it's got to be conclusive. And we've seen that go both ways. And I thought it was. Popped up foul territory, and that's Brandon Drury with the catch. Moretta was the Reds minor league pitcher of the year in 2021. All-star last season. Spent most of his season at Class A, Double-A, Chattanooga, and then was moved up to Louisville. He was 6-0, 8 saves, and an ERA last year combined in both spots, just above 1. They like this guy, and for good reason. Here's Donovan, and Donovan lifts a fly ball into right field. We head to the home half of the 8th. Catch made by Naquin. Cardinals on top, and it's 6-3. Be in town when we come back to St. Louis, and on Saturday, August 6th, the Cardinals and Yankees hook up, and that day's 25,000 fans 16 and older take home a Joe Torre bobblehead. Available at cardinals.com/promotions, and that's a Saturday, August 6th. Lars Nootbaar is in right field, takes over for Donovan. And Gallegos will have Farmer, Solano, and Naquin. 6-3 our score. And the first pitch popped foul and out of play. Cal Farmer came over from the Dodgers back in 2018, and that was a trade that included Matt Kemp, Yasiel Puig, Alex Wood, and then going on the other side is Homer Bailey, Jeter Downs, Josiah Gray. A lot of big names in that deal. Gallegos came into the ballgame in the 7th with 1 out, 1 on. Walked the first man and then got a pair of groundouts and no damage done. Steven Matz, 5 1/3, 2 runs tonight. Junior Fernandez allowed a home run by Colesbury, his first. And now it is Gallegos. And an 0-2 pitch. A swing and a miss and a strikeout. Farmer strikes out for the second time tonight, and there's 10 in the lineup this evening for the Reds. And now a quick word from Tickets for Less.
Tickets for Less, for a better ticketing experience. Best seats, best prices, and no surprises at checkout.
Donovan Solano has 2 of the 5 hits tonight for the Reds. Now he's got 3. And a base hit into left center. Spinning, it's Carlson, and holding him to a single. Nicely done.
It's a great play right there. Just getting it in your hands, turning and throwing just to stop him. You can see right there, Dylan Carlson. You can see it on his face right there. You can see every time a guy gets on base, you're that much closer to getting a tie ball game. And nice job here, but sorry, you still got a guy on.
You keep the double play in order. Something to keep in mind as well. Here's Tyler Naquin.
Was an outfielder, you kind of think kept the double play in order, but the hit's there, so you're thinking one more hit and a bomb and we got a tie game, or one more hit or maybe the bomb comes up. We're only up by a run, so that's always on your mind as an outfielder, because you can't control what goes on the mound. Worst case scenario.
Here's the 0-1 pitch to Naquin. Nothing in 2. Ryan Elsley starts to stretch in the St. Louis bullpen. We'll see him tonight at some point. And the 0-2 pitch by Gallegos. Late swing, and Naquin stays alive. Naquin was signed to a minor league deal prior to last season with an invite to the major league camp, and wound up putting together a pretty darn good year. Hit .270, had 19 home runs, drove in 70, and played 127 games. It's another 0-2 pitch by Gallegos. Pulled foul.
See Kisner right there wanting that ball on the ground, basically.
It's been a game in which the Reds have struck out 10 times. The Cardinals have left 13 on. And St. Louis has out hit the Reds 13-6, but yet a tight ball game. The 0-2. And the 1-2 pitch. Kisner could not hold on. So the pitch count getting up there a little bit now for Gallegos, but plenty of rest. 27 pitches here tonight.
I think if you're the manager, you just pick, okay, who's going to be my 2-inning guy today? And then who's going to be my closer that can probably go back-to-back days. And then 2 days from now, he got Gallegos again fresh.
And the 1-2 pitch again bounced, kept in front by Kisner. Good play. And that also keeps the double play in order. Solano staying put at first. Hit out of play.
So he gets that slider down and in right here. See that swing? He's protecting. If he comes over the top like that or dives over the plate like that and you get anything underneath, he is in trouble. So he gets the ball down. And if it goes anywhere near the middle in, I think he's going to have a pretty successful pitch. You just have to make the pitch. You have to execute.
Popped up. Arenado in foul territory with it. And that's out number 2.
It's a great read by Kisner right there. He sees exactly what we're talking about. You can see guys diving over the plate. You sometimes can't see exactly what's going on, what we can see, but you can feel as a catcher when a guy kind of falls over the plate after a swing. And just a nice job of setting him up and going back inside.
And the pinch hitter will be Moustakas. There were 2 outs in the 8th. And Ali Marmol doesn't necessarily mean he's going to his bullpen. There's been a couple of times where we'll have that conversation, but he is motioned to the pen, and that's going to be it. Motion for the right-hander. That'll be Helsley. And he's trying to get the final 4 outs in this game. Helsley coming on to face Moustakas when we come back. Stadium hosts the 17th annual Purina Pooches in the Ballpark Day. And you can come downtown with your dog, and a limited number of tickets are on sale now at cardinals.com/pooches. Cardinals turning it over to the All-Star. There's Chevy called to the pen, and that is Ryan Helsley. So Helsley in for St. Louis. He'll face Mike Moustakas. Had a scoreless 8th inning in the All-Star game with 2 pitches hitting 103. So he leads relievers in the National League in ERA. It's .69. Opponent's batting average 109. Leads in hits per 9. He's got 5 wins. So Moustakas to face Helsley with a runner at first, and the Cardinals leading 6-3. Moustakas in year 3 of a 4-year contract that he signed with Cincinnati as a free agent. This is just old-fashioned hardball. Whop. 100.
You know it's coming. You know it's coming, but you hope it's not 100 up there.
And the next kept in front by Kisner. Moustakas selected by the Royals originally back in 2007. He was the 2nd overall pick in the draft behind David Price, who's now with the Dodgers. 3-time All-Star. Twice for Kansas City. 1 year in Milwaukee back in 2019. Cardinals with the shift. Outfield straight away, and the 1-1. Soft liner and caught. So Helsley gets the final out here in this 8th inning. We move to the 9th of game 2, and it's 6-3. Head to Jupiter for fantasy camp. See what it's like to play alongside some of your favorite Cardinals over the years. It's the newest Cardinals Insider tomorrow, 11:30 on Bally Sports Midwest. That's Ian Jabot. We saw him pitch the 8th inning last night. 2 hits and a run, and he struck out 2. And then he'll get Sosa, Kisner, and Carlson. Ryan Helsley, by the way, this year has inherited 14 runners. 1 has scored, and if you go back to last year, he's inherited 45 runners and 5 have scored. That is it. He is some kind of weapon.
I think it's been interesting to watch him pitch this year, and talking early in the year about how he's healthy with his legs definitely has been a huge difference for him. And we didn't even know that, and we thought he was doing a great job last year. He's just been incredible, like you said, this year.
Mustaka stays in the game. He's at third as Sosa hits it out of play. Foul back again. Sosa struck out 3 times and also a double to left field back in inning number 5. And the 1-2 pitch and a strikeout to Sosa. No argument, he knew it. And the first out here in the 9th. So Drury moving from third base to right. And his spot is due up third for the Reds in the bottom of the 9th. Here's Kisner. And the first pitch is popped up. India 2 away. Top of the lineup and Dylan Carlson. Carlson head-to-head with Jabot, 1 for 1 with a double and a walk. He's been on base 3 times in this game and scored 2 runs. And something may have happened with Kisner on this pitch. Take a look.
Oh, yes, sir. That is what you call not good in this heat. Little hamstring cramp, hopefully. That's it. Think about that heat right now with him being behind the plate. I mean, you watch these pitchers and they're sweating crazy, and he's just back there with all that gear on, not getting a lot of breaks from his legs, and just wear and tear in general.
1 ball and 2 strikes. The next to Carlson. And a swing and a miss. So that'll send us to the home half of the 9th. The Cardinals leading 6-3. And it's our Budweiser What's on Tap will come your way at noon. Michaelis against Malley. Miles is 7-7. Malley 3-7. Cardinals and Reds game 3 tomorrow at noon. Well, good to see that Kisner is still in the ballgame. May have been just a cramp with that hamstring, so he seems to be all right. Colesbury leads it off. He has scored 2 runs tonight, and that includes a solo home run hit back in the 7th inning. Then we'll see Jonathan India and Brandon Drury against Helsley, who got the final out off the bat of Moustakas in the bottom of the 8th. And now they're going to pinch hit with Reynolds, Mark Reynolds, for Colesbury. So Papirski is the last position player remaining for the Reds. And the 1-0 pitch by Ryan Helsley. Inside. Brewers against the Rockies. They're in the bottom of 8. They lead that ball game 8-1. As the Cardinals start play tonight, game and a half back in the Central Division. The 2-0 pitch to Matt Reynolds. The former Met looks at a strike. He's 0 for 1 head-to-head against Helsley. He's a pinch hitter, 2 for 6 this year. And the 2-1 pitch by Ryan Helsley. In there for a strike.
What a great pitch. You got fastball up at 98, borderline in and up, and then another fastball for a strike, and that little short slider. That's the one I think that has changed his game. He's got a bigger one, but that shorter one. And when you see that, you kind of give it a little hesitation. You're hoping if it's the bigger one, it breaks out of the zone. The small one stays right there.
1-0-3, and it's a strike, and he doesn't get the call. 1-0-3.
Come out of the hand, nice. This has got to be a strike in this situation. You see Kisner a little bit stabbed at it, not by fault, and that's 103 miles an hour right there down, so hard to do, but Carlson doesn't give it to him.
And the strikeout. That's 11 strikeouts in the Reds lineup. I mean, things have been so good for Ryan Helsley this year. Yeah, I'd be doing that too if I was Jonathan India facing Helsley. I mean, you just feel like it could be game over anytime that he's in. He's that dominant at times. We'll see if it continues. And the first pitch, a strike as he backed away from a strike at 1-0-2. Remember, he was hit by a pitch, Junior Fernandez, in the 7th inning. And he gets hit a lot. Mentioned it earlier. All the times he's already been hit, 31 in his major league career, which has been about a year and a half.
Tell you what, he doesn't want to get hit here, that's for sure.
You get 1-0-2 painting, and then that.
There's the big one. That's what I'm talking about right there, Danny. The big curveball more. He used to be just kind of a little bit of a slider and a little bit of a fastball, and now he's got this and the smaller slider.
And the 0-2 fouled back. Cardinals are trying to pick up win number 51 and go to 6 games above 500. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss at 101, elevated. And there's 2 away.
I'm really going to catch up with that up there.
Whew.
You said it.
And the final hope is Brandon Drury. Fly to right. RBI double that scored 2 in the 3rd, struck out in the 5th, and walked in the 7th. 2 outs and nobody on here in the bottom of the 9th. And the Cardinals leading 6-3. First pitch. You sell out for the fastball and you get that.
That's the one right there. I'm telling you, that's been the game changer, I think, for him. Is you can't really see that coming out of the hand like you can the bigger one. And even if you can, the fact that he can throw it for a strike now all the time is just impressive.
And the 0-1 pitch by Helsley.
It's like when you get that dominant closer that had a really good year the year before, and then he comes to camp and he's working on another pitch, and as a hitter you're like, oh great, really? That's what he needs.
That's what they're getting right now. A ball and a strike. The next by Helsley to Drury. And the Reds down to their final strike. Helsley trying to strike out the side to end it. And the Cardinal fans behind the St. Louis dugout on their feet. The 1-2. And we'll do it again. Drury trying to extend this game to Tommy Pham. It's the 18th game this year that the Reds have struck out 12 or more times. Helsley trying to make it 13. That's the pitch sequence here. The slider, curve, back to a slider, then 1-0-2, another slider. Let's see what he comes with here.
Slider, curve, 1-0-2.
Man,
you're saying it's pretty obvious what pitch that is. 1-0-2.
That would be the fastball. Just in case you're wondering. And the 1-2 pitch from Helsley. Swing and a miss. He strikes out the side. Tag applied by Kisner, and this game is over. Cardinals win it by the final of 6-3, and they take game 2 of this weekend series.
Nice job, Steven Matz. Hopefully he's not injured too much. Another 3 guys come out of the bullpen. Great job. Could have been some more runs, Danny. 13 hits and had a lot of guys left on base, but overall great win tonight for the Cardinals. Tomorrow go for the series win.
And it's off to the post-game show. Helsley dominant at the end. Matz picks up the win. He's now 4-3. And the post-game is next. 6-3 the final here in Cincinnati.